Hello, everybody. I'm Kurt Busch. Got some YouTube community Q&A questions. We'll jump right into them. It's about 10 of them or so. Are you willing to be more aggressive or do things you typically wouldn't do in the round of 8? Well, here we are. This is the Elite 8. It's the who's who of running for the championship in 2020. We got a race win in Vegas. Chip Ganassi Racing, we won at Kentucky last year. And so the mile and a halves are our strength. I don't want to take any extra risks. We just need to execute as a team and do things the smart way with these 2 mile and a halves at the beginning of the round of 8. Martinsville, that's now in this position. It's never been the cutoff race. And so that's where you might take more risks to try to get into that championship 4 and have a shot at the championship. I love the monster car you drive now, but what was your favorite paint job for your car, for a car that you raced? So I love the Monster Energy car as well. I've been with great cars and teams over the years, like the Sharpie days. Those Sharpie cars were always fun. They were always changing. I remember one of the collector cards of our Sharpie car, Irwin, Crown Royal, Smirnoff Ice, Little Tykes. It was like this baseball card. It was like a chameleon. It said Kurt's paint schemes are always changing like a chameleon. The gold car that I had with Miller Lite that I wrecked at the All-Star race with my little brother. That was one of my favorite ones. Stuart Haas had some cool cars with different commemorative cars, the 500 races at Dover. But man, my favorite, it's hard to pick one out. But if there's one, it's the black and gold Sharpie car that I won the championship with. Why not, right? Another question, what is it like when you and Kyle travel together, but one of you wins, particularly you, and he doesn't want to wait for you? So that happened. That was legitimate. At Kentucky last year, we flew in for the race together, and we were going to fly out that night. And he knows that when you win a race, how long it takes, the whole process of victory lane and interviews, the hat dance, photos, you name it, you're celebrating. You don't care how long it takes. And that night he left because he didn't want to wait those 3-4 hours. And when I finally bummed a ride on one of the last team planes out of there, I got home at 4:30 in the morning. I mean, that's just part of how Saturday night races work. Plus he lost to his brother. Yeah, and he's not the most cordial after he loses a race. And so that's just part of it. We've gotten better. I won at Vegas, and we were actually flying together, but we planned on staying that night anyhow in case either one of us won at our home track in Vegas. So that's just part of it. If he wins, I'm hanging out just waiting on him. Let's see here. How did you end up liking the Chicago Cubs? Man, this was a tough year. I felt like our bats got really quiet in the playoffs. They've struggled recently against good pitching, but that's what happens in the playoffs. But what a great year to win the NL Central, to work through their protocols and to be in the bubble that they were. And I was actually able to slide up to a rooftop and enjoy a game this year at Wrigley from one of the bleachers where they allowed 10 fans to go up on top of the bleachers for one of the games. But tough season for everybody in sports. We're all trying to get through this. Tough season, tough year for everybody in 2020 with COVID. What's your favorite Christmas birthday gift you got as a child? I would say my go-kart. I got a yard cart, a little Briggs & Stratton go-kart when I was about 6-7 years old. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was bright orange, painted like my dad's race car, and that was where it all started. Vegas being your hometown, how does that win compare to some of your most memorable moments in the Cup Series? It's a top five moment, maybe top 3. You can see behind me, there's the Harley J. Earl Trophy from Daytona. Downstairs is the championship trophy from Homestead in 2004. The Vegas win trophy. Right now it's at Ganassi's headquarters at the race shop. So I got to figure out a spot here at the house, but definitely a top 5 moment, something that I'll cherish forever. Proud to have won at my hometown for all of the people that have helped me over the years make it in racing. What's your best story involving you and Matt Kenseth? There has to be at least one dating back to the Roush years. Oh, of course. Few different stories with Matt. You know, he's a 2003 champion. You know, we raced head-to-head that year. We raced head-to-head in 2004 when I was running for the title. I mean, of course, he was eligible too and running. Roush was in its heyday then. And in 2005, I remember he wouldn't pull over and let me lead a lap at Kansas in the playoffs. Like it turned for blood in 2005. But my favorite story with Matt was he nicknamed me Smokey Busch. My first ever driver's suit at Roush when I was a rookie in 2001 was all white, and they missed on the measurements. Man, it was like shrink wrap white. Like it was right on top of me, and like it was like an old school Smokey eunuch suit that he would wear from the Best Damn Garage, and that's Kenseth. He nicknamed me Smokey Busch. Who got in trouble more as a kid, you or Kyle? 100% Kyle. I'm the angel in the family. Kyle's always in trouble. I mean, it's second kid, right? The younger brother, he's always in trouble. I was always like, no, Kyle did it. What's your pre-race ritual? For me, honestly, the way the schedule works out, and I try to still stay on this schedule, is 2 hours before the start of every race for the last 19 years, for me, was the driver's meeting. And then you schedule events before, whether it's the autograph sessions with fans, a meet and greet or hospitality, a sponsor visit, then the driver's meeting. And then afterwards, there's that window of time where I have a lunch, a turkey sandwich, that's part of my ritual, and to zone in for race day with race notes, last minute calls or texts with the team members. And that's what I'm doing now, is literally a Zoom call with my crew members on reviewing the race and going over all the numbers. That way everything is as clear as possible for when the green flag drops. Who was your NASCAR hero growing up? I was in a divided household of Dale Sr. and then this guy named Jeff Gordon, who I had the same birthday as Jeff Gordon. So I was rooting for him, but my parents, they loved Dale Sr. You know, then there was Davey Allison and Bobby Allison, the family connection of father and son, because me and my dad raced. And then when I got to the bigs and made it in racing, and Mark Martin was my teammate, I idolized him. I was like, Mark, wherever you go, man, can you teach me? I'm here to listen. I want to learn. And so Mark Martin was one of my heroes early in my career. And then if you weren't a driver, what other job would you choose? Man, I have no idea. I flunked out of college because I was racing too much. I was a plumber in Las Vegas. I actually helped the city of Las Vegas water department fix water lines. Who knows? Maybe that's where I would have got stuck. And then, you know, I'm sure racing would have called in some way or another. And if I couldn't drive well, I would have been involved in the sport as a mechanic or something. And last question here, do you consider yourself to be a dark horse for this year's championship? Absolutely. At Chip Ganassi Racing, we're a two-car team. Larson and the crew chief and Kenseth, all of that has been trouble on the 42 this year. And Kenseth helped shore up some things, but we are a two-car team. We need to gather as much information as quick as we can and as clear as we can. And we haven't been able to do that at the top level of the four-car teams. But hey, we're in this. We're in the top 8. We have these mile-and-a-halves coming up. We're down in points. We know we've got to get points, but we've got our best chance to win with Kansas and Texas as mile-and-a-halves for Chip Ganassi Racing. So I'm looking forward to the challenge. Hey, a dark horse is fine, because right after that it says championship contender, and we're in this to win it. Thanks, everybody.